Welcome to the Screen Rot Podcast, the podcast where we discuss the weirdest and worst content that's been rotting our screens and indeed our minds. I'm here with Jake Farrell.
I just realised I've got toothpaste down my shirt.
Have you? That's the third episode we've recorded with it. I'm wearing, by the way, I mentioned about the barbershops that I'm in partnership with. This is a branded barbershop Baby Grow.
Yeah, this is really something. How would you describe that material? Baby Grow, I guess.
Well, I mean, it is 100% cotton, I think. To be honest with you, we get
that's what it says on the label.
Well,
100% cotton.
We get these made from a guy in Pakistan.
Okay, then. And
and he does message us out the blue, being like, "Hi guys, need anything else made?" And we're like, "No, we tend to come to you." And he was like, "I know, I just need some money." That tells you how well it's going for him.
He messages you going, "You're not standing near any open flames in those."
There was like, when we started sending these out to customers, Matt, my business partner, had to message people being like, "And wash them at 30 degrees, turn them inside out, and if everything does fall out, it's not our fault. See ya." It does wash well.
The market, it does wash well.
So this will be going out in kind of 6 weeks into 2024.
Yeah, early Febish. Yeah.
Now we'll be honest, we're recording this in early Jan 24.
Yes.
This will be going out at a time when New Year's resolutions are dying.
Yeah, when everyone's motivation is being sapped.
Dry Jan will have been done. You're doing Dry Jan.
Doing Dry Jan, yeah. I mean, like I said to you earlier, kind of out of medical and financial necessity.
Oh man, I did my fucking bollocks at Christmas. I really spending money like an arsehole. I actually was doing. I don't know why I'm talking about my finances. I was sort of doing all right. Start of December, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is okay. Yeah, I can pay a bit of tax this year."
Ahmed Cube, we'll be in touch.
And then after like Boxing Day, I was looking at my account like, what the fuck have I done?
So like for me with Dry Jan, I think like it's a bit of an odd thing to be like, oh, in the most difficult or kind of joyless time of the year, take out alcohol out of the equation, like that one kind of relaxant as well. But there is part of me that's just like, if I carried on, I was going to end up looking like Henry VIII.
Yeah, that I think that's the thing at our age, isn't it? Is that you really can see alcohol in your face when you have too much.
I look like one of those, you know, those things that people sit on to like help their core strength. My face looks like one of them. You could do your typing while sat on my...
Do you think... So we're recording this in the first week of Jan. Do you think you'll have completed Dry Jan? Do you think you'll make it?
We're going out for our mate Josh's birthday dinner on the 25th.
I forgot about that.
I think it's debatable whether... Yeah, that will be the... I'm kind of like relatively close to the finish line at that point. It's on a Thursday, so we're not going to be going...
It's 30th birthday. We've got to have a drink.
You got to have...
You can't... It's
the 5th of January. You got to have a drink on the 5th of January.
I do fall down whenever I try and do these things. And I'm not actually doing it because I know that I'll fall down for a reason. But like, whenever I do these things, I do fall down because there's always like, oh, you know, it starts with, oh, it's my mate's birthday. Oh, it's Friday. I mean, it was dark. It rained today. You know, but I think for his 30th.
Guy Havertz was shit today. Yeah,
that's an arsehole move to not drink on someone's 30th. Do you know what I mean? Especially when you've done, you know,
if I've done
25 days of it.
If I get to 25 days, I'll see how I'm going then.
It's not going to do anything to your health, is it? Do you know what I mean? You're not going to...
You'll be all right, won't you? You'll be all right. Just have a little brandy. Go on, we'll have a brandy now, won't we?
This is probably like devil on your shoulder behaviour, isn't it? So is that the main one for you? Dry Jan.
That'll be my main
Clean up
resolution.
the booze.
Clean up the booze. Try and kind of get off to the year on a good financial and health footing. What about you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, just sort of generally similar, really. Just, do you know what I get quite a lot? I get people messaging me on Instagram, personal trainers.
Yeah.
Going like, hey, I'll train you for free, as long as you sort of share it on your stories a bit.
Oh yeah.
And I say no.
Right.
Just because I genuinely don't have time. Like the reason I don't go to the gym, it's not because I'm unmotivated. Is I don't have time.
Yeah.
Between the kids and work and everything. But then I'm like, are you just telling yourself that because you don't want them cracking the fucking whip on you?
Yeah,
you know
as you make your Bailey's brandy and coffee cocktail at 4 a.m.
Yeah. I'll do a kind of general health kick. I will try and get in the gym 3 times a week. I'll try and run. I'll try and clean up the eating a bit, less booze, blah blah blah. But I mean, I don't really do the resolution thing so much because it does just die in February, doesn't it? And you.
Yeah. Screen Rot listeners.
Also, there's one every fucking month now. It's like, you know, like you do a veganuary, a dry Jan. People do dry October. Stoptober. There you go. Fucking Lent comes up in February. You give things up for that.
Yeah.
Every fucking month, there's some reason to make my life worse.
I'm gonna try and do the full year without fags this year.
Are you?
Yeah. And if
nicotine in general or just cigarettes?
I might resort to vaping at some point, but because in the summer it gets hard. I've been an on and off smoker. If you're my health insurance provider, I've stopped smoking 8 years ago. But
I didn't know you had private.
no, you have to get a bit of health insurance now and again. And no, not health insurance, rather life insurance. That's what I mean.
Sorry,
life
sorry.
Yeah. No,
You're like fucking Booper. I was like, you can pay for the video editing software.
No,
I've
been trying to get people to send me to a sanatorium in Switzerland for some time, but that's a different thing.
Those pods.
No, and like, so that's a good one. But if you're a Screen Rot listener, Instagram message us. Have your resolutions failed? Are they still going? We want to hear about them.
I'm trying to, because we do get enough messages from our listeners that we have a vague idea of what they're like.
Yeah.
I reckon there's a lot of people who would have tried to stop drinking.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's a good chance that all of our listeners go because they're such screen addicts that they're trying to resolution that out of their life.
Yeah. It could be that. But yeah, if everyone's still going with their New Year's resolution,
yeah,
good
tell
luck
us
to
about
you.
it.
God bless. For me, it's I don't know, just general health kick really. Just try and
Cross your fingers.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, I don't get too into it. Should we talk about who we're talking about this week?
Let's talk about this week's freak. I use that word
Freak
advisedly.
of the week. Freak of the week.
Yeah.
Freak of the week this week. I mean, in many ways, quite similar to some of the ones we've had before. He's not too dissimilar to John the Food Don. Sorry, John. He's not too dissimilar to a Bevo.
No.
I think he's actually mates with those two.
Is he? The Lenga-Lengest man in Crouch End and Bevo, the king of Canvey Island.
This guy, I'm going to make no bones about it from the beginning. I fucking hate him. I really don't like this guy. And it's like, there are some in the past I've said that Straker was evil.
And we stand by that.
There's something dangerous about this guy. There's something a bit kind of like, he's a kind of feckless, directionless content creator. Done a bit of food stuff, does kind of dares, stuff like that. Goes on a lot of holidays on his own, and I think he kind of frames it
Never
as
a
like,
good
I'm
vibe.
going on a challenge. It's like, no, you're not. You're just lonely prick. You'll have seen him on TikTok. You'll have seen him on Instagram. He makes me feel horrible. He makes me feel anxious. And whenever I see friends of mine who've liked his stuff, I think less of them.
And we've done a lot of objectionable people, and this guy's right up there. So you're going to love this one.
Yeah, look forward to it. This week we are talking about
Mashtag
Brady.
Brady.
Oi, get on this.
Business-like.
It's business-like. It's also almost reluctant. Mashtag Brady is scum of the earth. I'm going to say that's my headline for the week.
Sometimes Jacob comes up with actually these kind of like amazing, perfect analysis of internet culture in Britain at the moment, and sometimes just says...
All right, well, let's try and go a bit more in depth then.
Okay.
Mashtag Brady. He's the naughty kid at school who one lunchtime or one lesson you'll have to sit next to him because the teacher moves him around as much as possible, and he's not allowed to sit next to his friends who don't even really like him, and you end up sat next to Mashtag Brady and go, yeah, this would be a laugh. Throw a pencil at someone's head, and you go, that would be a laugh. Actually,
that would be a laugh.
Throw the pencil at someone's head. Before you know it, you're fucking getting questioned in court for arson.
Why did you burn down the science block?
Yeah, this guy is a limitless, lonely freak who the phone has enabled him to go from the detention room at school to running around Europe. He comes from Derbyshire, but literally Europe, running around Europe, causing mayhem, doing horrible things. And again, it is similar to Bevo. It really shows up a kind of in the same way that, and I'm going to do a lot of school analogies with this guy. In the same way that with Bevo, we sort of made the comparisons to a lot of the sort of early Ricky Gervais sitcoms where it was like these fame-hungry monsters who are so desperate for attention, it's our fault for giving them attention. At school, and I was pretty naughty at school, and I remember what would happen sometimes. The teachers would get bored of telling me off, so they'd start telling off everyone else for laughing at me.
Right.
We need to stop laughing at Mashtag Brady because we're encouraging him.
So how
have you come across him? I assume he entered your sphere without me pushing him onto you? I assume you saw him before.
I'd seen a couple of things as before. I think more the kind of pranky or like I'll do anything me kind
pranky,
of thing.
That's it. Yeah.
And I think it's like you say, it's like for Bevo and Pete BOC, who we talked about in the last couple of weeks, you worry about what the public is going to do to them. In terms of we're laughing at them, we're going to make them feel bad. With Mashtag, you worry about what he's going to do to us.
My worst nightmare is walking down the street and hearing he has this kind of like Simpsons laugh of like
yeah.
And I'm so terrified I'll hear him do that behind me and then like happy slap me or something.
And go on.
No, Cameron.
For a bit more context, I was going to say he's from Derby, right?
Yeah.
He's from Derby originally, so he's kind of an East Midlands based. I love the way that these like regionally, you can map the UK now by the freaks.
Bevo in Canterbury.
Bevo in Essex. Yeah, Ahmed Yacoub in Birmingham, but Mashtag in Derby. It used to be that it's like, oh, like I don't know,
Dan Bennett in Morecambe.
Yeah, Dan Bennett in Morecambe. It used to be able to be like, oh, but like Alan Bennett's from Yorkshire or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like Bevo's from
Derbyshire. What like Mashtag Brady?
And so he started with food. Was that right? He started just so much of it's about food. Why is it about food?
It's similar to Bevo. It's like it's not. I mean, and we'll talk about it a bit because like we'll watch the first one in a second. It starts with food. But he, like, one thing, another comparison I'll make is he's kind of similar to John the Food Don. I think I've said that already. But what I really liked about John the Food Don is he'd go around, he'd go, cleanliness was a bit of an issue, right? Yeah. Like, in the same way that
Can I just say, your impression of John the Food Don is unbelievably good.
Really?
and like, it's such a shame that it's like, if you could do like, I don't know, Taylor Swift or Beyonce, you'd be a millionaire. If you could do that as well as you do John the Food Don.
I also do comedians quite well.
You do comedians quite well. Not here, by the way. No. But yeah, anyway, sorry. I just wanted you to know that.
But thank you. But John the Food Don, he's like, he reviews chicken shops in the way that Jay Rayner reviews the Ritz.
He loves food, right?
Food was a bit of an
This
issue.
is his kingdom.
I went to the boss man. I said, well, you know, but he really describes what he's eating quite well.
He does.
Whereas this guy, like, he doesn't have a fucking clue about.
He doesn't give a
food.
shit about burgers.
He doesn't care. No. He's let's watch the first one. But it kind of started with this, with food, and he only did it because other people were doing it.
Yeah.
But there's something I'm going to point to in this, which is the key, which is what he starts doing, which is as I say, I was a naughty kid in school, but I had boundaries.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll hint it now. There's a lot of knife crime in London. Yeah? It's a big issue. There is a code amongst London's gangs. You do not hurt civilians.
Right.
And you will find that a lot. And sometimes they do, and they've broken the code. You do not hurt civilians. That's gang culture in London and in America. You do not go after civilians. Mashtag
does not respect the culture.
He doesn't respect the code, and he goes for civilians.
Also, by the way, these videos that Mashtag makes
he doesn't stab someone, by the way. I can't make that clear enough now. Before someone's like, fucking hell, what's he going to do? He doesn't stab anyone.
The first snuff film on Screen Rock. This week we're analysing a Japanese snuff film from 1939. This stuff is unbelievable.
I've done Jake over and I've snuck in someone murdered someone.
By the way, these videos are unbelievably long, so we're going to cut.
We're going to sort of cut in and out. Yeah. Okay. Here's Mashtag Brady.
The UK's greatest cheeseburger continues.
That's his own car that he just throws himself on like a prick.
It's got a bag full of burgers.
James Bond slide across the bonnet. Anyway, so we've got fucking potato tots, fried.
A lot of fucking
burger.
Yeah, he can't stop swearing, and I'm sure we swear more than most people would like. But this is horrible. He's getting all his food out onto his cardboard.
Okay. Look at this fucking burger. Let's take these sticks out.
Swearing again.
Are you fucking
It's got like
mad?
a boxer's nose as well.
Normally I'd start with the
Yeah,
fries.
well, I can't tell with his nose. I
We've
can't
got
tell
potato
whether
tots and
that's.
We've got crinkly cut fries.
Yeah.
The best fries ain't fries. They're never
No,
the
I think
shape of
it
fries,
might
they
be a
need to
cleft
be
palate.
different shapes.
Oh, my mistake.
Okay, let's get straight.
But I think the reason you think
Bits,
it's a
brisket,
boxer's nose is because he's got the
tomato,
personality of
patty,
someone who has been punched.
Turkey,
quite often.
lettuce, tomato, onion, patty, cheese.
So he's just reviewing this burger.
Talking
at this
about the
point.
burger.
He's eating it now.
It's got like a barbecue sauce in there as well, which goes
all
so
over
well
his
with the
face.
fucking brisket, with the bacon
Hands are
jerky.
covered. This is really like naughty kid in school vibes.
Yeah, look, throws the tomato on his car.
Right, well, I can tell you right now.
It's really the vibes of
Egg
someone
sandwich.
who's like
Obviously, normally I don't like extra
just
stuff on
smells
my
a bit, and
burger.
then maybe you're worried their mum
Because I
doesn't
feel
look
like it
after.
takes
Yeah,
away
it's real that thing.
Are you
He's
fucking mad? They're not the
shouting and
juiciest looking
swearing,
things
and he got no
Right.
proper description of the
Straight into
food.
this picture.
Yeah, he's just eating it. Then he's like, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, whole
Honestly,
drumstick
that's
just
incredible. I'll
gone.
give this an 8-9. Then finally, let's get into the fucking Philly cheesesteak. Have a look at that.
He's eating a
sells-
lot of food in
nowhere
quite a short
fucking
space of time as
sells
well.
Philly- I can't fucking speak. Nowhere sells.
This is it.
Nowhere sells Philly cheesesteaks anymore. Oh, you're hard, mate. Soft
you're
one.
hard, mate. That's
Plastic
something
American
fucking
cheese. Cameraman, come out the road. Cameraman's got a fucking death wish. Philly cheese, fucking steak, onion, peppers, nice
So
soft one. Let's get into
Still
this bitch.
covered in stuff.
Oh my god, that's so bang. Look at this. The fattest no-chew bite you've ever seen in your life.
Here we go. They're trying to, now he's copying Beaver now, doing the fattest no chew bite you've ever seen. Doesn't matter.
Oh god, he's
I've,
spat it all
sorry,
out.
I've seen enough. I'm going to play that.
Yes.
And so yeah, like fairly standard shit, right? Now the annoying thing is, and what annoys me with this is, it clearly went so well, and we'll watch the next one straight away. Somehow. And by the way, that was crap.
Yeah, it was fucking
let's
shit.
be honest. We've watched a lot of this stuff now.
Yeah.
We've watched a few people who kind of review food. We weren't a massive fan of Todd.
No, Todd is still pursuing legal cases against us.
At the very least, yeah. At the very least with Todd, you kind of get it,
Yeah.
right?
No, it's well made,
gone-
and he's actually describing food.
He's gone to trending spots.
Right.
You get good shots of the food being prepared, and you
Yeah.
kind of get, and it's so cheesy and yummy.
He also, I mean, well, one thing they do have in common is the kind of like, they don't mind about getting fucking food all over them.
No, yes, I guess. I think it's also what they eat, isn't it? They just eat slop. But again, like John the Food Don, I rate John because John, it was really descriptive, and you really get it, and you really got an idea of what he was
either
eating.
Lang or it wasn't
and
Lang.
he was like, I gotta be honest, it wasn't too bad. The chicken wings had a nice kick to them, like, and this guy's just swearing, just
Yeah.
constantly swearing. But it went well enough, and it's TikTok. It's always TikTok, by the way. I will say this for Instagram. I think there's a slightly better kind of meritocracy within Instagram.
Right.
Like, real crap goes well on TikTok. This went well enough. God knows where, but some burger restaurant in the Midlands started let him create his own.
They thought it would be a
burger.
good thing for their restaurant that they would be associated with Mashtag.
Yeah.
I like this when we do this because you go back to the start, you see the origin. There's this fucking idiot reviewing burgers. Like smash cut to him in fucking Loughborough with his own burger.
The UK's greatest cheeseburger continues. Who the fuck is this guy? What a sexy
Swearing,
man.
picture of himself.
Picture of
smoking
Mashtag
himself.
on the front of
My own
a
fucking burger. We're in Derby, Leicester, Loughborough, Nottingham, Birmingham, Sheffield.
Middle of the
Everywhere you
street.
fucking
Taplow,
want a
Winnersh.
burger.
No, and this is it again, just going up to people.
Going up to
Literally, if you've got
children.
a fucking broken leg and you eat this burger, it makes you better. If your mum's a fucking stupid bitch and you eat this burger, it makes you better. If you have a fucking tiny cock,
How old do you reckon he
you're
is?
fucked, mate.
He's older than us.
This is the thing,
I
because
reckon he is.
he has the vibe of a 13-year-old.
Okay, let's see what's actually in it. Cameraman, stay still for a second. Here
But
we
like
go.
going
We've
up
got
to
potato
people,
bun,
kind of
lettuce,
like being a
tomato,
bit
onions,
of a
gherkin,
prick and like
triple
giving
patty,
himself, be
onions,
like,
smashed into the patty, burger sauce and mayonnaise.
He's got green Crocs on as well. Can't abide with that.
let's throwing it at people
Right,
in the
here we go,
street.
let's get straight
Like,
into this bit. I'm
again, I
running
think
out of
there's enough of that. But
Yeah.
he's got his own burger. God knows who. And also, like, what the fuck has happened to the world where when you're like by the way, these aren't like crap places. They're clearly places that are making, you know, proper smash burgers, blah blah blah.
They got branches in Loughborough, in Leicester, in Derby.
They put a bit of effort into the food, but the best marketing strategy they've got is to let this fucking idiot, and it's like you say, he's got that real vibe of like the kid at school who clearly isn't getting enough attention at home.
Yeah.
Not like a drama kid.
No.
The drama kids at school who've probably been given too much attention at home, who now think that they're going to do musical theatre at university and
Guilty.
I sing Disney. Horrible, right? But this guy, it's almost like you're so like desperate for attention that like I'm actually worried you're being neglected at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's those kids at school and they're so naughty and they've got no limits and they'll you know, do things to the public and they'll break things and they'll roll on the floor and they'll lick windows. He's literally kissing a window.
He does at one point kiss a window with a picture of his face on it.
He makes me feel nervous because, like I said about the gangs, he doesn't respect the code. He does not respect the code. When you're a naughty kid, you know you fuck around with the other naughty kids. You'll have one guy who's a bit of a prick who you have a go at, but you do not go after innocents.
No.
You leave civilians alone.
They're trying to learn about the Weimar Republic.
Yeah. And I think he clocked with these ones because there's a couple of instances with both of those where he interacted with people who he shouldn't be really. They haven't consented to being in the video.
No.
I think...
And their children.
Well, they're kids, yeah, a bit, but I think he kind of clocked that is the future for his content.
Yes.
I think he clocked, he was like, oh, it makes people feel a bit nervous, but maybe it gets more views. The next one is just grim shit.
Yeah, and this is the thing where it's like the no limits thing is he's clearly got this like no limits sensibility, and it's like very disquieting when they dress like a kind of Jake Paul 15-year-old American, but he is a 40-year-old from Derby. Like,
yeah,
he is...
I mean, the dress, I again, and I've watched more clips than we've actually got here. He's sort of flipped between comfy, silly, a bit urban. Like, there's definitely some JD Sports vouchers given to him from his nan. But then there's one where he's wearing like a Pokemon hoodie.
Right.
Like, yeah, fuck it, I love Pokemon, don't I? What, you don't like that? Well, get out of it then, you know. It's just...
But it is the ADHD generation,
yeah,
really, isn't it?
mate, massively, yeah. But he's too old.
He's too old. Yeah.
Do you know who I was going to compare him to? I can't remember the kid's name. There was like a young black kid in London.
Oh, Mizzy. Yeah.
He's actually really similar to Mizzy.
Mizzy was really sinister, though, right? He was like going into people's houses and stuff.
Yeah, but mate, this guy isn't far off.
No.
This is the thing. Is like, and everyone hated Mizzy.
Yes.
And for good reason. Like Mizzy, as you allude to, there was a video Mizzy did where and you know, he wasn't stupid, Mizzy. He was in some well-off part of London, and you know, there's some poor woman stood outside a really nice house, and his sort of prank they did on her. He was like, "Yeah, is this where the study group is?" And just walks in her house. Have you seen this?
I think I saw the backlash to that video.
Yeah,
but I don't know that I've actually
it's
seen it.
horrible, man. And then, like, you know, her husband's there, and he's like, "Whoa, get out! My kids are here. This isn't funny. Get out!" And Mizzy runs in the living room, jumps on the sofa. And
Oh my
it's really grim.
God.
And then there's another one where he just runs off with some woman's dog.
Mizzy's like borderline. We couldn't really do a screen rot on Mizzy. That's like
He's
like
kind of
criminal
gone now.
behaviour.
I think he's been arrested.
Yeah, I'd
but-
imagine he's in
but,
prison.
You know, but he went on Piers Morgan because Piers Morgan was, you know, just like, you know, I mean, naturally, young black kids. Of course, Piers Morgan doesn't like him. But he was also, it was like. His pranks went so far that the nation was like,
That's enough.
Fuck this.
Yeah, right.
Like we'll get to it in a minute, but like Mashtag is really treading that line.
Yeah.
Like, and if people are just listening and watching this and haven't seen other stuff, they'll be like, well, what's he doing? He's offering people burgers. This is the beginning, but you can see the start of it of him going, right, well, I don't fucking care. I'll lick a window. This next one, again, similar to the Bevo thing, kind of similar to the POB of like, what should I do next, guys?
Yeah.
But it's just so lowest common denominator. It's like, what's the worst thing I can do?
What's the worst? And if you're probably going to get close to what he actually does here. This is the third clip.
What tastes better, dog food or cat food?
Insane.
I'm about to answer the age-old question of if you're in an apocalypse, which one are you going to eat first?
Why is there
The age-old
dog food and
question.
cat food left, but no
And
other
nice
food?
Country stew, chicken and vegetables, and a little bit of parsley in there. You know, we're trying to get their flavours, and then we've got a fucking turkey and chicken. I'm already feeling sick. I've got myself a sick bag just in case. Let's get straight into this bit.
It's so horrible.
Let's start with the cat
And he's
food.
like saying like, "Oh God, I can't believe I'm doing this." It's like
What?
you're
Why are
making
you?
yourself do.
Yeah, why are you?
That's not a great start. That is not a great start. It looks delicious, mate. Absolutely.
We'll just watch him
it's
take
the
one
jelly.
mouthful.
I tried to buy one without jelly.
He's doing the kind of fake sick. Well, maybe he is actually getting sick, but
The smell of it is horrible, but I mean, it's like retching.
Oh,
trying to
That's the
eat
meal
this
deal
cat
gone
food.
then. Let's get into this bitch.
this bitch.
He uses the word bitch so
First
frequently, it's
taste on the
horrible.
tongue, it didn't taste that bad.
Oh, that's enough. That's enough.
This is without doubt the worst one we've ever done.
Yeah, well, it's the worst thing we've watched. It's just dreadful. But I think you hit the nail on the head when he's like, "Oh God, I can't believe I've got to do this." Like, no. You could get a job.
Yeah.
Job centre's open, mate. Plenty-
And it's like kids are watching this and going like, I want to be a TikToker. It's like there is honestly, I would rather work in WH Smith's for the rest of my life. I'd rather do the night shift at Costco for the rest of my life.
Get me on a flight to China. Put me in the worst sweatshop they've got. I'd rather do that.
Making
than
iPhones.
this. Yeah, absolutely. Get me down the Coal Town mines. I'll do whatever you want rather than do. It's so feckless. It's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
And it's so. You know what I said earlier? With Bevo, I made the comparison of the porn industry, where
Which was actually really good. I was like, where do you start that? I was like, fucking hell.
But you know, years ago, and I guess years ago. I mean, essentially, what he's reenacting is a Bush Tucker trial, right?
Yeah. the most low budget Mashtag.
Yeah, and you're you're going, oh, ITV, don't make them do that. In the same way, in the porn world, years ago, you go, oh god, what horrible director at fucking, I don't know, Brazzers or whatever is making them do that. Then the revolution happened. Content, and you do it themselves. But then, whenever you see like a poor girl doing some horrible stuff to herself on webcam, you go, oh, it's because some bastard is offering her $3,000 and she's got to pay her mortgage, whatever. That's not happening. No one is sending Mashtag 200 quid and going, eat the cat food, Mashtag. No one, he's doing this.
This is, I mean, I don't...
You should never, ever blame a porn star for what she does or what he does, because they do it on the whim of their audiences.
Yeah, right.
No one is making him do this. He did this at a time when he had quite a small following. No one were in his comments going, Mashtag, it was funny with a cheeseburger, try a bit of pedigree chum. No one did that.
Also, again, you've hit on, and I don't know if it's the richest source of kind of comedy material, you've hit on the fact that the new modern kind of way of living is that these content algorithm machines force us to debase ourselves for likes.
Yeah.
That is what there is somehow, and not even by human design. By the humans design the algorithm, but the algorithm has kind of shaped and shifted and morphed into this thing where a man from Derby is eating fucking dog food on camera. At least Nigel Farage gets paid for it.
Yes,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
At least when do you remember George Galloway doing the cat thing with Rula Lenska?
Yeah.
He was being paid.
100 grand, 200 grand, at least.
We do it for free. Our generation do it for free.
Yeah.
Fucking give me more likes. Fucking hell.
And in the same way that Beaver was like, yo, thanks guys, I managed to buy a car from doing shy, and then in the next video it's like, oh, I didn't buy a car, I was making up. It's like, there is no monetization here. There isn't. I'm sure in his later videos there is some kind of monetization thing, but I don't think it's much. And it's just.
And there's no vehicle for this. What are we going to have? Mashtag's Balls of Steel with Mark Dolan sat behind the desk. Maybe that is the next thing. They wouldn't let him on the telly. They would not let him on the telly.
No, there is not much credit to be given to traditional TV gatekeepers who decide who goes on and off the telly. The one thing you can say is, this guy never goes fucking near a TV camera.
There's not much credit to be given.
Ever.
But you can say the privately educated people that decide who gets on the telly are not going to put Mashtag Brady on Channel 4.
Give me another 4 decades of Stephen Mulhern before this guy goes anywhere near ITV2. I mean, but that is the thing though. It's like a lot of the time nowadays, Chunks and Philly get shows on BBC Three. Much to the chagrin of my father. They won't ever touch this shit. It's so bottom of the fucking.
Don't you think? Like, it's so funny now. When you say Chunks and Philly now, you may as well be saying Elton John. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They started in the world of social media, right? Chunks and
they still live.
They still mainly live within it. But they are such like kind of mainstream celebrity royalty now. Mashtag doesn't have Stormzy's phone number.
No. But
Stormzy has a restraining order on Mashtag.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I hope they. It's a funny thing, anecdote I can tell you about Chunks and Philly. So Jamali Maddox.
Yes.
So when they were relaunching BBC Three as a terrestrial channel, not a terrestrial channel, but you know what I mean, as a proper kind of channel you could just watch rather than a website. Like I don't know, a couple of years ago now. They were going to do like a big kind of like live launch event on like a kind of live show on BBC Three to launch it being back.
Right.
And they asked Jamali to do it, good money, and he was like, yeah, sweet. And I just realised that this turned into like a kind of like Z-list showbiz gossip podcast, hasn't it?
Have you ever wondered what the bottom third of the comedy industry is up to? Then we've got the podcast for you. Do you ever wonder what Jamali Maddox was up to 3 years ago? Jamali Maddox's mum doesn't care what Jamali Maddox was up to 3 years ago.
What was Jamali Maddox doing when he still spoke to Jacob Hawley? What was... No, we do get
Go on, finish it.
Well, basically, like I think it was Philly rather than Chunks was booked to do this big, good money TV launch, big event, relaunch BBC Three. And apparently, like a week before, they had to cancel the show because Philly just turned around, or Philly didn't even speak to him. His agent was like, "Really sorry, Philly doesn't want to do anymore." They were like, "Oh no, why? Has he got another show?" He's like, "No, he just wants to go to the Super Bowl." That's how little he cares.
Does he want to do his job? No, actually, he doesn't. He wants the day off.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is like Mashtag will never get offered shit like that. This is horrible shit.
He's too volatile as well. He's too scary.
But that's the thing is like I think think for content creators to kind of make the jump, if they so wish, and as I've just said, a lot of the time they don't.
They don't want
If
to.
they do want to make the jump,
We do, by the way.
yeah. If they do want to make the jump to kind of mainstream TV, or even just any kind of paid stuff, there has to be some level of, I don't want to say control, but at least kind of like you can put a headpiece in and do what someone tells you to do.
Are you going to turn up on time, like wearing the right clothes?
No, you'd have to muzzle this guy. If you were going to try and get this guy on anywhere near like an actual camera, you'd end up biting the fucking earpiece.
He's a Billy bullshitter as well, isn't he?
Well, so
some of his stuff is travel stuff. That's the next bit, isn't it?
Yeah, so I guess again, it's like what happened next? Where do they take it? What do they do? And again, he knows nothing about food. He did the food thing for no reason. I mean, he's eating fucking dog food. Like that, John the Food Don would never do that, right?
It's not Lang.
So what did he do next?
That's the longest running joke on the podcast. A niche content creator using the word Lang.
Mashtag. I'm 99% sure of his own volition. I don't think anyone asked him to do this, and I don't.
No one's asked him to do anything.
Yeah, and I'm really certain that no one's paying him to.
No.
He started doing these kind of solo travel things where he goes to, again, quite like obscure parts of Europe. Like he goes to like Tunisia, Albania, and he sort of does these almost like travel logs as he goes on these kind of like weird and unpleasant holidays. I think the next one we're going to watch.
He's on the plane on the way to Albania.
Yeah, and so this is a common thing. He does a couple of these.
These are running series.
Well, he just gets on a lot of Ryanair flights because he goes to all these places, right? And a few of the ones he does, he goes, "Here's a little travel hack of how you get of how you get an extra legroom seat without paying for it." And what he just does, he just films himself getting on a flight, getting in someone's seat that they have paid for, and just refusing to move like a prick.
Not honouring the code.
No, not honouring the code. And also, no one's happy on a Ryanair.
No, please.
No one's having a good time.
Oh my God, can you imagine? You get on the flight, the next flight to Dublin. You got you and the 2 kids on there.
And you just hear, oh, fucking hell, I'm getting done. And, he's farting on my kids. But, even Mizzy.
Please stop fighting on my kids.
I would say even Mizzy, as we said, horrendous guy. Very glad that I think he's been incarcerated. I don't know.
We're not sure.
But when he did turn the gun on the public, when he did break the code and go after civilians, he went after rich people. Right. This guy is pissing off people going back to Albania on a Ryanair flight in this video.
Very strange.
Having a flight to Albania. Let's see how many people will give me a
He's shouting.
She looks terrified.
Stewardess is terrified. He's shouting. He's just walking down the aisle of the plane, for those of you watching. It's like a half-empty plane, and he's just spudding them.
Offering fist bumps.
So if you're the person sitting there, you've got a 35-year-old bloke with a boxer's nose coming up to you, with a camera, with a massive iPhone, shoving it in your face and asking you for a spud. And remarkably, all of these, presumably, either people from Albania going home for a holiday, or people just going to Albania on holiday, they're actually doing it.
Yeah.
People are doing it. I think mainly out of fear.
Well, I've got a theory.
What's the theory?
And I say this. I
With
do
no evidence whatsoever.
Well, I do know some guys from Albania.
Okay.
You can maybe guess in which context.
Well, fair enough. Go on. I'm not. Go on.
A few times when he does this, you can see the guys who are going back to Albania. They see this prick. They look up like that and they go, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's going, "Go on, spot me. I'm filming you." And you can see that there's a beat where they go, "Oh, I can't hear."
Yeah.
And there's times they even look at their mate being like, "Fucking can't, not on a plane, fine."
And
you try that on a fucking. He doesn't do it when he gets to Albania. You know why? He gets killed. He get murdered. And also people like that. They've dealt with people like him every Friday and Saturday night, and they've gone, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
And we've
think
talked
of the money.
before
Think of the money.
We talked before about how, like, there's a lot of content is like kind of placating children, really, isn't it? It's just all right, I'll do it. And every single look in every person's eyes as he's going through this.
Oh yeah.
Is just like, oh god. It's like if a 10-year-old was walking down there asking you to like buy lemonade or something.
We have a similar thing. So
with your actual children.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of that. But also the bar that I have in Tottenham, next door to it, there's a kind of a Greek restaurant, which I should say is not. Is funny enough actually run by Albanian people, and there's a kid who is called Pet, and his dad works at the Greek restaurant.
I'll have to bleep his name, but go on.
That's not his real name, though.
Okay.
And Pet comes in the barber's shop and the bar, and he's just bored. But he's like that age of like 9, and again he's got that kind of Mashtag thing of he's definitely a really naughty kid at school, and he just wants to, and he'll come up to you with a football and go, Messi or Ronaldo, and you're like, oh, fuck
That's Mashtag. Yeah.
And you go Messi, and he'll do a step over, or you do Ronaldo, he'll do a kick up. But you just, it's that kind of exhausted. Go on, just fucking do a little trick. Just do a little trick.
That's actually given me quite a lot of cheer. That has, imagining you trying to work in this bar and being bullied by this.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, it's quite funny how we all react differently. I have none of it.
Right,
Whenever I'm there, I literally go, get out of there, kid.
I've got 2 of you at home.
Yeah, no, and I think that is the reason, because I've got 2 at home. I go, get out, kid. I'm not having it. What is quite funny, that you know Tom, who works at the barbershop.
Yeah.
Tom, really lovely bloke, barber who's worked at the barbershop I have for a few years. First ever employee, lovely, quite camp gay guy who lives on a canal boat. Hasn't had any experience of children in his life.
Right.
And like literally none of his family members have got kids, none of his mates have got kids.
And Tom, by the way, renowned for being kind of kind and friendly, and
the kindest, friendliest, like very sort of fun and camper, very funny, very kind, very lovely, the most warming person I've met.
Yeah.
He doesn't like. There's me and another guy called Simon who've got kids, and we have no shit. Like this kid comes in and we go, get out of there, kid. We're working. No, go. I'll tell you, Dad, get out. The others are a bit more, yeah, nice one. Tom doesn't know how to deal with him. And his only frame of reference is the closest he's get to dealing with a kid like this is to deal with dogs. Because a few of his mates have got like pugs or French bulldogs. So he'll literally, like, if he's trying to like clean up and this kid comes in and starts mucking around, he goes, Pet, down, get down, Pet, no, stop it, Pet. He's one step away from getting a ball and going, fetch, go get it.
Oh my
You'll have the lead on in a minute. We'll put the lead on.
It's so funny.
That's what someone needs to do with fucking Mashtag.
Yeah.
Honestly.
He needs a disciplined owner.
If I was on the Ryanair flight and he was going, go give us spuds, I would look at the men around me and going, right, between us, we can tackle him.
Yeah.
We can floor him. We can restrain him.
Yeah.
And we can put him in a little cage.
You will be respectful.
Yeah. No, that's what I would do. If I ever saw Mashtag on a flight, I'd look at the men around me and go, together we can do this.
We can do this.
Hold him down, tie him up, and we go, and we're trying to film it. We'd tape his mouth.
You're saying you want to be like Mashtag's abusive stepdad? Is what you want to do?
No, not abusive stepdad. I like that. He is like a dog. And I would phone, whether it's the RSPCA, I'd phone the necessary authorities,
right.
And I'd go, we've got a stray. We've got a stray. I don't mind how you deal with it.
He's a TikToker.
If he has to, we've got a stray TikToker on our flight.
You probably phone TikTok. Maybe they have some kind of like housing unit for them.
That's what TikTok needs to develop. They need to develop like a response unit.
Yes.
Where you can
get another fucking floor.
You phone up and go, we've got a wild bevo. He's in the car park of our harvester. He's doing shayo. And they turn up with a big net and some sedatives, and you see the car, the TikTok response van drives away, and you can kind of see in the window, you know when you see a prisoner getting taken away, in the window they've given Beaver like a little bit of sweet and sour chicken to chew on, and he's just getting driven away. We're going to take you back. Mashtag Brady, who's got his arse out in the window and he's eating a cheeseburger. We're going to take you back to the house, and we're going to give you a bone to chew on. The TikTok response unit.
It's like the Shawshank Redemption. Morgan Freeman's played by Beaver. I think we should finish there. It's not going to get better than that.
Let's go. I mean, do we have anything else with Mashtag? No, not really. He's a piece of shit. He's horrible. He's like, and if you find him on the streets, message the Screen Rock podcast, message our Instagram, and we'll turn up.
We'll call
with a taser, fucking one of those darts. We'll get him in the van.
The TikTok response unit coming to your neighbourhood soon.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Anyone there? By the way, the last 3 we've done have been people have messaged us going, "Can you get these guys for us?" So anyone else like that, drop us a line and they'll get done. Thank you very much. God bless. We'll see you later on.
Take care.